Food management is very important, and I get the message all the time, and I almost don't know how to answer it anymore because here's the challenge. And T-Fit here with FitBully TV. 9 out of 10 people that message me are used to feeding dog food, and I once was lost too, but now I'm found. What does that mean? You think because I put food in a pail that the dogs are good. That's not how this works. So what I did today to prove that, and not just to prove it, but just to draw some clarity. What we feed our dogs is not what you should feed your dogs. What we feed our dogs might not be good for your dogs. What we feed our dogs might not benefit your dogs. If you don't know your dog, you could be hurting your dog, causing issues with your dog. You could be doing harm to his gastrointestinal line, all kinds of stuff. I know they said don't feed pork, but we already debunked that myth in 2 different books, and I can go find some more if you need. Every dog is going to get a rack of ribs. What do ribs do? In our case, they provide satiety. What does satiety mean? If ever you get hungry, go and drink you a Coca-Cola. You know what it does? All of a sudden, you're not that hungry. You know how the commercial says, "Hey, if you need a break, grab a Snickers." What does a Snickers do? What does much sugar do? Sugar often provides satiety. If you can drink milk, my black behind can't drink no milk. It'll be a white chick scene on 10. You can drink a cup of milk and feel a little full. Now, clearly, if you're not eating protein, your veggies, and some rice or some carbohydrates, then you probably aren't going to get full, but you can calm that hungry monster down. So when people ask, "Hey, can I feed my dog?" Says, I don't know what your point or your goal is. You know here, if you're a part of the FitBully experience and you're watching FitBully TV, that we feed our dogs to support the things our dogs do. Now we have a pool, and I got to be honest with you. Every day so far they've been in the pool, and it's not even because of me. They're just jumping in the pool. Every time I go outside, effing Tron's roaming around the water. And then I come out there and Cha-Cha looking suspicious. And then he goes dipping his toes. So they're getting more and more confident in just being outside, being in the water. They know how to get out of the water if need be. And we've got some beautiful life vests for those that got to see that other episode with our guy from Canine Weight Set. There we go. I told him we'll work on that name. But let's just say each dog eats this pork. These pork ribs, which are roughly about the same pounds, same amount of weight, each one of these rack of ribs. What do you think is going to happen to each dog? One of the dogs is going to look like it ain't nothing. One of the dogs is going to look like it's swollen for 2 days, sleep real good, and be in a little bit of pain. One of the dogs might throw up because it could be too much fat in this. So then do I go, "Hey, everybody, go give your dog a rack of ribs"? No, and no. What I will tell you to do is please go get Dr. Connor Brady's Feeding Dogs and go get Dr. Karen Becker's Forever Dog Life. It'll help change you and your dog's life. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here showing you what we do and how it benefits and adds value to our dog's life. What I can tell you, it's very rare that I'm at the doctor with the dogs. But trust me, I have no problem going to the doctor as well because I don't want to deal with the sickness on the back end. And we've already dealt with that too, people. So stay tuned because I'm about to give the dogs some everybody getting a rack of ribs. And then I'm going to show you tomorrow. Not just later. I want it to process, I want it to digest and say, "Hey, how did each dog take to this pork rib rack?" And unfortunately, our scale broke. But if our scale didn't break, I would weigh them before, weigh them after, and show you what happens if I just feed them pork ribs for 2 days, 3 days. Who holds on to the much weight of that? Who holds on to weight the most? Guys, it's just not that simple. Can I give my dog, bro? Give your dog anything that's safe. But educate yourself on what your dog needs. There's a reason why they call it food science and nutrition. Okay? Guy who runs a bunch is not going to eat the same as a guy who, body builds. And the irony is those guys might eat the same amount of calories, but they do the exact opposite thing in each one's body. Guys, as always, listen, take care of your dogs. Thank you. Honestly, I had to take my time to go. Yeah. That right there, people, was a little pork belly, thick pork shoulder. Now, as you just saw, you know, you ever heard that saying, you are what you eat? I expect our dogs to be relatively good and not great. And it is my job to ensure that I yield that result. Meaning like, hey, if I give them this, will they actually get better? And they do get better. Someone literally messaged me, direct message, say, hey, what do you eat? I'll show you. I'll show you what we're about to put ourselves through, because this is one of those things where as the days get ahead or we get behind, I start getting antsy. So we got more work to do. What I didn't anticipate is moving's relatively difficult. What we cannot do is fail our dogs. So even in moving, they're still eating good. Pork, beef, chicken, fish, eggs are all sources of protein. Each one of these proteins impacts our dogs and their quality of life very different, because each one of them holds a different level of value. You want to know what to feed your dogs, I would encourage you to read all you can. And we'll come back and show you later kind of like what you think happened. But for now, just take care of your dogs.